Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my top 10 most attractive male celebrities list. Yeah, this may you may be wondering, like, well, this came out of nowhere. What's the deal with this? And it kind of did come out of nowhere. It's like I don't even fully know why I decided to make this list. I just did, and then I decided, I'm gonna make a video on it too. Why the fuck not? Um, So, another thing you may be wondering is why is the camera having me over on this side of the screen with all of this empty space over here? Well, it's because we're not redirecting this. This isn't going to be one of those top 10s that I make where it's all clips and stuff, because I want to explain why I find these guys attractive. And there's a lot of various reasons. It's more than just their physical appearance, though that is a factor in every single one. Like, of course, I find these guys legitimately hot. They are, like, fucking attractive in terms of their appearance. But it's more than that as well. And there are certain factors of their appearance that make them attractive, which I'll get to as well. Other than that, there's no real, like, qualifications for this, as long as they are famous in some legitimate way, whether it be internet famous, they're an actor, a musician, anything like that. As long as they are well known and famous, that is the only real qualification I have. So yeah, we're going to get on with this. I don't know how long this is going to go, so I apologize if this is a longer video. Hopefully it's okay. And yeah, this is, again, just a really random fun video I decided to make for the hell of it. So, we get started. First up at number 10 is Ezra Miller. So Ezra Miller's known for movies like, most recently, he's the Flash in the DCEU, but he's also been in various, like, smaller name films here and there, including The Perks of Being a Wallflower with Emma Watson. He's a really fun actor who has, like, loads of personality. And as for why I find him attractive, I mean, outside of just being physically so, I like the personality he portrays both on and off camera. He's just this really fun, accepting, loving, kind of wacky and goofy guy. There's this one video he made, I think it was either with Dorkly or something like that, where it's like this skit where he's grilling this other dude on Harry Potter knowledge because he's Credence Barebones in the Wizarding World, specifically in the mine is blanking, Fantastic Beasts movies. There we go. So there's that as well. I'm interested to see what more they do with him in future movies. He's becoming a lot more mainstream lately, and I'm glad for that. He's a really good actor. He's really funny. He's really clever. Just the way he portrays characters, even someone like Credence, who is a lot different than a lot of his characters. I just really love the energy and depth he goes into making these characters really pop off the screen. And yeah, in terms of, again, why I find him attractive, again, other than just his looks, because, again, everyone on this list, looks are a major factor. Again, it's his personality, his character, the way he carries himself on and off camera. After him, though, we have number 9, Brian Deckard, also known as Connor, the android sent by Cyberlife. So Brian Deckard gained recent fame through Detroit Become Human, but he's done various other small stuff before that. He also runs a Twitch stream channel in which he streams popular games, including Telltale's Tales from the Borderlands, and more recently he's been doing Life is Strange. I think he's currently on the Before the Storm spin-off. He plays with his new recently married wife, Amelia, who is also in Detroit Become Human, and as you can see with this picture, the big factor in his attractiveness for me is his beautiful smile. His smile is everything. It just makes me melt. He's so nice too. He's very nice and accepting and caring, He takes an active role in his fans, in his fan base. He makes a point of communicating and interacting with his fans. He gets so into their love for his character of Connor. He even uses that for merchandise and other ways to communicate with them, such as on his Twitch streams and stuff. He'll use that for different tiers of membership and various little emojis and whatnot. He's just a really fun guy, really happy, really nice. Loves to show his fans that he cares, and again, that smile. Fuck that smile. I love it so much. Number 8 is Vincent Tong. Vincent Tong is a known voice actor as well as a singer. Most people in the communities I'm a part of would know him for roles like Flash Sentry and Rumble from the My Little Pony franchise. I believe he also was notably in Littlest Pet Shop, but I haven't actually seen that, so I can't say for sure, but I believe he was in it. He was also in a recent Bronies React video as a guest. And honestly, just look at him. He's fucking gorgeous. He just, everything about his look is beautiful. Personality-wise, he's a really fun guy. He likes to have fun and joke around and kind of be a big old goofball. I haven't actually gotten to meet him, unfortunately, but I've seen various videos from conventions and stuff. I've heard of other people's interactions with him. On Bronies React, he was a lot more reserved, but again, I've seen more from him, and he's a big old goofball. And yeah, just everything I've seen about him, it's just he's just a pleasure. He's just a pleasure to watch and to look at. After that, we have Nick Jonas, formerly of the Jonas Brothers, and actor and singer currently. He is my number 7. And this picture, obviously, is from Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Now, I'll be honest, before Welcome to the Jungle, I was not really that attracted to him. I'll be honest. I grew up, I listened to the Jonas Brothers, I watched their music videos and stuff, sure. But he was never really one of those guys I really ever found super attractive. None of the Jonas Brothers were. Him, Kevin, or Joe. I never found him, like, ugly or unattractive. I just never really got into it, you know? I saw him in a couple things. I believe he was in the Camp Rock movies. I believe they all were. It's been so long since I've seen those, though. But then I saw Welcome to the Jungle, which I had no idea he was going to be in, by the way. When I saw him in there and everything about that, it's just like, I kind of really fell hard for him. I mean, he's gorgeous. He's really funny and actually a really good actor. And I just really enjoyed him in that. And I've seen other pictures and stuff, and he's kind of a newer addition to the list, I'll admit. And for him, it's a lot about for him, it's more about physical appearance, because I don't fully know what he's like off camera. And on camera, I only have a couple of examples, so. And only one really notable recent one. So this one, you could kind of say is a little cheap. I think I just heard... Did I just hear... Yeah. I was going to say, I think I just heard Discord go off. I have Discord up, sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, he's a more recent one. But I felt like he deserved to be on this list, and I felt this was the appropriate spot. At number 6, we have Dan Avidan, also known as Danny Sexbang from the Game Grumps. I'll be honest, I never really was into the Game Grumps originally, or Ninja Sex Party, or any of that. For the longest time, I actually avoided that kind of stuff. I felt like the Game Grumps were kind of silly, and that their constant yelling, and honestly, at one point, I thought their constant swearing was over the top. I thought that they felt fake, that they felt like they were phoning it in, basically. But more recently, like within the, I don't know, past 6 months even, I started to watch their stuff, and I really got into it. Like, really got into it. I love Dan and Aaron's just interactions with each other, the way they work off each other so excellently. And I have seen some of the stuff with Aaron and JonTron, and they never worked off each other as well. It's almost as if Dan was destined to be a member of Game Grumps right from the beginning. And I like the others too. I like Susie, I like Ross, I like Barry. But it's really these two, and especially Dan. Dan is my favorite by far. One, he's fucking hot. Like, before I watched Game Grumps and stuff, like, I first heard about Dan from a Markiplier fan video where he was referred... Markiplier it wasn't a fan video. Markiplier was playing a fan game. And in the game, it referred to Danny as Sexy Danny. And Mark kind of agreed with that and said, like, yeah, he's sexy. And it's like, I always kind of wondered. And then when I finally ended up seeing what he looked like, it's like, oh yeah, no, he's fucking hot. And then I started, when I started watching Game Grumps more and started hearing more of his interactions, his voice, I started watching Ninja Sex Party videos. And it's like, yeah, I really fell hard for him. He just like Brian Deckard, he has a winning smile. Like, look at that smile. He's so fucking cute. But on top of that, again, beyond his looks, he has a really fun personality. He's just really fun and goofy and kind of ridiculous. His jokes are just like really dumb. He tells a lot of dumb jokes. So does Aaron, but Danny's jokes are very dumb, but in a very silly, likable way. Like, you can't help but enjoy just his sense of humor. And again, his interactions with Aaron really help in this fact because it really allows him to shine personality-wise. So, yeah, Danny is just definite A+. The only reason he's honestly not higher than number 6 for me is because, surprisingly enough, the others I just find more attractive. And a lot of them because of physical appearance, to be honest. But that brings us into number 5, Mark Fischbach. Speaking of Markiplier, yeah, Markiplier, honestly, I found him attractive right from the moment I first laid eyes on him, which was in a video back in 2013. Shortly after becoming a brony, shortly after like getting into MLP and stuff, back in fall of 2013, I decided, okay, let's see if I can find any MLP-based games on YouTube. At that time, I wasn't big into YouTube at all, and so trying to find much of anything on there, it's like it was more or less new to me. I hadn't known a lot of big YouTubers. I wasn't super active on there, but I was into games. I was a lot more into video games than I even am now, and I'm still very into video games. So I'm like, maybe someone's played some MLP-based games. So I looked that up. I looked up Let's Play My Little Pony. And it came upon an SCP containment chamber, or whatever it's called, containment breach, I think. SCP containment breach, that sounds right. A mod for it, an MLP-based mod for it, that Markiplier had done a Let's Play of. And I fell in love with him the instant I saw him. Honestly, even back then, before I even realized I was attracted to men, back when I identified as male, because I had yet to, obviously that was years before I came out as trans, and I hadn't even come out as liking guys yet at that point. I mean, I'm knowingly pan these days. I make that very clear. I tell people I'm very open about it. I am pan. I like everyone. Guys, girls, NBs, doesn't matter. But back then, I did identify as straight. Because I didn't know. But even back then, I would admit when a guy was attractive. And I really found him attractive. And I think it was actually the part where I first started questioning that. Funny enough, I think it was because of Markiplier I started questioning my interest in, well, romantic and sexuality based stuff. Orientation, let's put it that way. And on top of just his gorgeous half Korean, half German appearance, his voice is so fucking soothing and beautiful. Like, seriously, there are certain YouTubers out there that just have that voice that you could listen to on loop and it would make you melt. There are just those YouTubers out there who are so perfect with that. And Mark is one of them. He just has that voice that is just so beautiful. And it's like, that is, honestly, voices aren't like a massive turn on for me for the most part. I do like certain accents. Certain accents are a big turn on for me, but for the most part, voices in general aren't as big a deal. But there are certain voices that really do get to me, and Mark's is one of them, and that's actually one big factor to his attractiveness for me. But another one is him, who he is. He has shown himself to be vulnerable in so many ways on his channel. He has shown how good and caring of a person he is. He has shown love and affection towards his fans in ways that I honestly have not seen any other YouTuber do. Even other ones who are very close to doing so, like Jacksepticeye, could never reach Mark's level. He is just such a loving, caring, beautiful human being. And that is why he's so attractive to me. It's not just his physical appearance, even though, again, that's a very big factor. He is just one of those human beings, one of those people out there who are just that damn amazing in who they are. And it's awesome, and I love it. And I love him. But next is number 4, Tom Holland. Yes, our current Spider-Man in the MCU. And he's done other stuff, too. He was in the United Kingdom dub, the British dub, of The Secret World of Arrietty. But he's most known for Spider-Man. And yes, believe it or not, he is actually a full-fledged adult, despite the fact that he looks like he could be a teenager. Though with the facial hair, like in this pic, he does look older. But yeah, he's just fucking cute. Like, he's not like some of these others on this list who are hot or sexy. He's cute. And as you all know, I am very much into cute. It's this aesthetic that I've always just adored. Even before I realized I was pan. Even before I realized I was trans. I always loved cute stuff. Like, always. I mean, heck, it was one of the big pulls for Pokemon for me. I was always really into a lot of the cute Pokemon, if I'm being honest. And Tom Holland is fucking cute. But on top of that, he's fucking hilarious. The entire joke he's constantly doing about leaking secrets for the MCU movies and stuff, that's fucking hilarious. And the way he actually works off of it. Like, there was this false article at one point about him leaking something from one of the movies, and he posted on Twitter, it's like he shared it, it's like, for a second there I thought, oh shit, did I? He legitimately made a joke about the joke about him. And that's freaking hilarious. And on screen, he's just so awesome, and I just love everything about him. Yeah, there's not really much else to say about it than that. But now we get into our top 3, my 3 favorites. The 3 celebrities, male celebrities, who I think are honestly the most attractive. Again, for various reasons. So we get to number 3, and it's Wil Wheaton. Wil Wheaton is, I know it's a small picture, I do apologize for that. Some of the pictures were small that I got, unfortunately. I probably could have gotten better ones, but honestly, this was the best picture that, in terms of his appearance. I could try to increase the size, I guess. It's going to be a little blurry, but there. Wil Wheaton is known for playing Wesley Crusher on Star Trek when he was younger, but he's also known for the YouTube series Tabletop, in which he gets a bunch of friends and other celebrities to play tabletop games with him. And I mean, he's had Markiplier on there. He's had Janet Varney, the voice of Korra from The Legend of Korra. He's had Jesse Cox, another YouTube Let's Player and friend of the Game Grumps, on there. In fact, I think he might have had one or two of the Game Grumps. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, the idea is they just play a bunch of different tabletop games, and that's mostly what I know him from, because I'm not a big Star Trek fan. He was also on The Big Bang Theory, which I had seen him in. I believe he was originally kind of this rival to Sheldon, and eventually they ended up actually becoming friends. Though, to be fair, there were a lot of big names on The Big Bang Theory. Either way, Will Wheaton is fucking cute as hell. Like, seriously. Not only in just his appearance, but his voice and mannerisms as well. The way he carries himself, the comedy he portrays, when he's even not even trying to. Sometimes he's just really funny, just being himself, just talking or joking around, or sometimes he's really funny when he's actually even serious, and it's completely just unintentional. He has this really infectious personality that just hooks you in, and he's a joy to watch. And I wish Tabletop had, I think it was canceled, and I really wish it hadn't been. And I haven't even seen every episode, but there are episodes that I saw for games I've never played, and games I probably never would play, and I just watched them just to see more of him. So, yeah, if that's not a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is. Number 2, our runner-up, is Jason Momoa. Hot damn. I'm not huge into Game of Thrones. I have seen the first season. And I know him as Khal Drogo from that. Or Drago, or however it's pronounced. But honestly, I never really got into him during that, though I do admit he was attractive in that. Honestly, it was more of his other stuff afterwards, and especially him as Aquaman in the DCEU. Yeah, especially both through Justice League and the more recent Aquaman, in which he's been in, where he really played the role. I mean, he was in Batman v Superman, but only as this like quick cameo. I think Bruce was watching on a screen. But yeah, it's when you see his personality in interviews and stuff, when you see him joking and messing around with Henry Cavill on the red carpet, when you see him just being a lovable dork, his attractiveness goes way up. And I mean, even outside of that, he's fucking hot. Like, seriously. Like, when I first found this picture, when I was looking up pictures for this, I had to take a moment. Let's just put it that way. I had to take a moment because I legitimately got really... I'm not even... Here's the thing. Let me explain this. I've always seen myself as asexual because I've never really been interested or had any desire to have sex with anyone. But as a lot of asexuals and a lot of supporters will point out, that doesn't mean that you don't feel sexual attraction. That doesn't mean that you can't be attracted to someone in that way. It just means that you don't physically want to do the act of sex with them. And that's the thing. I find Jason Momoa attractive in a very physical way. Let's put it that way. To the point where it turned me on. I got turned on. Very much so. When I found this picture of him in this wet white t-shirt. Like I said, I legitimately had to take a moment to catch my breath because I think I stopped breathing for a second. I know, probably a bit much information. But, I mean, I'm trying to explain exactly why he's my number 2. Why he's my runner-up for this list. He is legitimately that attractive to me, to where this picture really did it for me. It really, like, hit me like a truck, basically, you could say. And seeing him in Aquaman, seeing his personality on Full Blast and stuff, again, through interviews and red carpet moments and stuff, his just the way he handles himself, the way he holds himself through all of that. And even in some interviews, I've seen him actually come across as very shy and cute. Like in Jacksepticeye's interview. Yeah, Jacksepticeye actually interviewed him. And he seemed really, really shy in such a cute way. And it was hilarious and adorable. And yeah, honestly, I'm just really fucking attracted to him. I mean, I think you've gotten that by now, but just to reiterate, I am very fucking attracted to him. Moving on to number 1. Justin Timberlake. Because those fucking eyes. Those fucking eyes. Seriously, like, for the longest time, I did not know Justin Timberlake had blue eyes. I'm being completely serious. I was into NSYNC when I was growing up. I was a big NSYNC fan. I was. My sister and her friend were both into Backstreet Boys. My mom, too, actually. I was into NSYNC. And I always liked Justin Timberlake. I enjoyed his music. I enjoyed his dancing. And again, this was well before I even knew I was attracted to him. In the more recent years, I started noticing a lot more. And when his video for Can't Stop the Feeling, the song from the Trolls movie, came out, I kind of had a moment when I first saw that video. I think when I first saw that, it was really the first time I ever really acknowledged, even before I really acknowledged it with Markiplier, who was, again, as I mentioned before, the first time I really ever started questioning my orientation, my romantic and sexual interests. Justin Timberlake, however, which was right around that time as well, like a little after that, maybe like early to mid 2014. When I really, I think that's when did that video come out? I'm actually curious. I'm gonna look that up real quick. I want to say it was around that time. Maybe it was 2015. I'm not actually sure. You might hear a little bit of it for a second here, because I'm bringing it up on YouTube. I'm going to try to mute it in time. Oh no, this came out in 2016. Okay, so it was a bit after. So at that point I would have I was already questioning things. By this point in 2016, I believe I had come out as asexual, but I hadn't come out as any. I might have come out as bi at that time. Before I realized I was pan, I thought I thought I was bi. So I might have came out as bi by that time. But Justin Timberlake was really the no, I think it was after this that I came out as bi. I think it was like more to mid-late 2016. This came out early 2016. Yeah, I'm thinking so. Either way, this was definitely around the time where I really started to notice that I had an interest in guys. It was like it was because of this video that I think he was the first guy that even before I really acknowledged that I found Markiplier super attractive and everything. Justin Timberlake was the first. This video specifically was the first time I noticed he had blue eyes. Really, really fucking beautiful blue eyes. Two, it was the first time I really found myself, like, really attracted to a guy. As in, again, by this time I had come out as asexual, I questioned that. And I have questioned that a couple other times, and admittedly, I've wondered about it. I've wondered if I truly am asexual. But, again, asexuality has different facets to it. And one form of it is just not wanting to participate in the act of sex. But you can still find someone attractive in a more physical way. It just, you don't want to actually, like, you know, fuck them. But you can still find them super fucking attractive. That's the thing, though. The fact that he did make me question this is, it shows you just how attractive I do find him. And on top of that, his personality, his through interviews and stuff, through, again, red carpet and hosting moments, how good of a person he is, the things he's done and stuff, everything just kind of comes together. All these kinds of things that I've talked about with the others on this list kind of come together to form this, like, this melting pot of perfection for me. And it's just this perfect storm that really, like, that runs into me and gets me really turned on. Again, if I'm being honest. You guys know I'm fully willing to be honest and open with you on this kind of stuff, on anything, really. So it's like, I just want to be truthful here. So, yeah. All that being said, though, this video is over 30 minutes now. These are my, this is my list for the 10 male celebrities I find most attractive. And again, I do identify as asexual. I do not actually desire sex. I do not wish to have sex. But I acknowledge that there are some occasions, and especially with celebrities like this and whatnot, where I do feel physically attracted to them. I just don't want to engage in sex with them. For multiple reasons, but, I mean, especially because of, you know, being asexual. I don't want to engage in sex with anyone. But that, again, that doesn't mean I don't find them physically attractive. And I think that's one of the reasons and I'm going to be open about something here that I've talked about before, I've mentioned before, but some people would consider this a very personal topic, let's put it that way. I think that it's one of the reasons I had been so addicted to porn in the past. I originally got into porn because I wanted to feel normal, because I kind of always knew I was asexual. I never had that, even as a teenager, I never had that interest in actually having sex with anyone. So I kind of got myself addicted to porn specifically for the reason of finding that attraction. To try and feel normal. And I became addicted to porn more because, again, the physical attraction to these people. Not wanting to actually engage in sex with them, but I just found them attractive. And, yeah. I eventually was able to move past that a lot. And here's the thing, I've still looked at porn, even up to current day. I have still looked at porn. I have looked at hentai and stuff. I will not deny that. But I do it more so now out of, well, in terms of a lot of art stuff, more for appreciation of the art. And especially recently with Tumblr and everything that went down with that, I've been trying to support a lot of artists who have been put out by that. So I have seen a lot of not safe for work art through that. And then on top of that, again, I do find these people. I do find these people, and in a lot of cases, these characters attractive. I will not lie about that. But again, doesn't mean I desire to have sex. I just find the characters or the people attractive, and I like to look. And there's honestly nothing wrong with that. I hate it when people try to shame others for looking at porn or engaging in that kind of stuff or whatnot, or just enjoying all of that. Because it's like there's nothing wrong with finding people attractive, for one. There's legitimately nothing wrong with that unless you're being really creepy about it or anything. And there's nothing wrong with engaging with that stuff. I also hate it when people try to shame sex workers because they are doing jobs in a lot of cases that they love to do. And in a lot of cases that pay the bills and that they need to do. So it's just like, don't shame people. But I'm getting way off topic here. Just kind of well, I mean, sort of on topic with what I was going on about. I was rambling, let's put it that way. Either way, so yeah, that's my top 10. This is I might have to mark this video. I might mark it in the title, not safe for work. Or just mention it somewhere in the description or something that gets into some not safe for work discussion. I'll do something about that. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.